Good evening, race fans. Welcome to Racing for a Cause here on a Wednesday night. My name is Chris. Joining me in the booth, as always, my good friend Rick Hammond Jr. Rick, how are you tonight, bud?
Hey, buddy. After a good, long, hard day of homeschooling, I'm ready for some racing tonight.
Hey, I'm pretty much always ready for some racing, Rick, with all the things going on in the world these days. It's good to be out here and kind of let some of the stress out here. And I'll tell you what, Southern National, a quick little track, 100 laps coming at us here tonight. And I guess we're going to go right into it, Rick. Let's take a look at the point standings coming into tonight. I saw that you did that today. Appreciate that. AJ Rogers on top of the points. He's been on fire so far this season. Jeff Dillon, second spot. Justin McDuff in third. Zach Coldbeer Coyer sitting on fourth. Matt the Vader Vade sitting in fifth spot. Al Smith Jr. I guess I should say it. I haven't had a chance to yet, but fellow Turn 3 Racing Network member Al Smith Jr. Let's do that. Andy Lambert sitting in seventh spot. Brian Hacker eighth. Justin Rigsby ninth, and Mark Fravert sitting in 10th spot in the points. You see the rest on the other side. Got some names that we haven't seen in a little while kicking it off here tonight, Rick.
Yeah, that we do, man. I mean, perfect size field tonight, man. 18 cars around, little Southern National. It's going to be a good time here under the lights.
It sure is. About 6 minutes to go before we get ready for, well, we don't do qualifying anymore. We're just going to
invert the field. Yeah, from, well, not really last week's because Andy had a little bit of an emergency that he had to get taken care of, a little dental work, and we're back. It's all good.
Yeah, this is going to be fun. The schedule is a little rough to keep up with, and I know that, and I appreciate you guys for coming on out here on a Wednesday night to watch some short track action put on by the Racing for a Cause guys. We've got, 18 guys in the server right now, so a pretty decent sized field for this very, very short track, Rick, and it's very small track, getting ready to do 100 laps, though. Oops, didn't want to do that one. Let's get rid of that. And gosh darn it. Silly buttons getting pushed wherever I don't want them to be. Let's get the track information up there. 0.35 is the distance on this track. 4 turns. Really, the thing I'm looking at? Track temperature, 77 degrees. It's a perfect night for racing.
Oh, man, it is. I mean, like I said, I'm always excited here with Racing for a Cause, especially on a Wednesday night, Chris. I mean, they do a lot of stuff under the lights, and I think it brings out a little bit more of that hometown feel, to me. And, I would love 77 degrees as a track temperature. I would be happy with the 70-degree air temperature that we got right now.
Yeah, no kidding. I would take that in a heartbeat. I'm due for some fishing, I think, this summer, Rick, just to get out and do something different.
I'm going to hold you to that.
All right.
Actually, we talked about that today. There's a lot of things that we want to do. We definitely want to get out on our bikes more with the kids. And my oldest and youngest both asked today if we can go fishing. Of course, they've been homeschooled since the little quarantine that we got going on here at the Hammond household. And we've been doing a lot of nature stuff there on YouTube and whatnot. And they're all into it. I think if I watch Free Willy 1, 2, or 3 again, I might scream like an orca. We watched Flipper, and today I introduced them to like the 1963 version of Flipper that used to be on TV when I was a kid.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
Got it. Yep. Jeff Dillon up top of the speed charts here during this warm-up session, and Dillon actually looking really good. Colin Allman in the 67, second spot. Chris Stump, one of those drivers. I said I was going to mention a couple of names out there, and I haven't in a little while. Chris Stump, one of those. You got AJ Hamill out there. It's been a bit since I've called his name out. Who else, Rick? We got one more. Where can I see him? Oh, there he is. In fourth spot on the speed chart, Matthew Spinks. So 3 drivers we really haven't called their names in a little while. And here we are, getting it ready to roll.
Yeah, I'm very excited about this. And actually, tonight's race is presented by the number 35 Matthew Spinks Attitude Graphics tonight. The Heart Foundation 100.
Yeah, just a couple minutes left before we get going. A little short enough time, Rick, I think. We're going to throw out a little commercial. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be right back right after this. And we're back here live with just under a minute to go of warm up before we kick off 100 laps here tonight. Again, from Southern National Motorsports Park. It is the Racing for a Cause guys right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Can't wait to get this one under green. And like I said, we've got Jeff Dillon on the top of the speed charts here. Sean Allman, Chris Stump, Matthew Spinks, and Dylan Blankenship, your 5 fastest so far here during this warm-up. But it's not going to matter all that much, Rick, because we're going to take that field, invert them from the last race, and there's your starting order.
I love that. I mean, I will say I do miss the heat racing because that was a cool little element that we had here. But I really like this inversion of the field, Chris, because it makes those guys that did so well, the prior week, now they got to fight their way through back all the traffic and do what they have to do to get back out front. It just makes for some really good racing, I think.
Well, you're absolutely right. And you mentioned the right word, fight. And that's what short track racing is all about. It's about the fight. And we're going to get ready to grid them up. Row number 1 going to be made up of the number 1 of James Somke to his outside, the 10 of Travis Wright. Starting on the inside, row number 2, it's the 44 of Mark Fravert. Outside him, Jeffrey Stiles in the 85. And Rick, go through it, bud, because my overlay just meant bye-bye.
Yep, mine did too. So let's see. We had Jeffrey Stiles. I'm not going to touch anything. Mine just gave me the same thing. Michael Fravert is going to be starting that 36th and 5th. Zach Coldbeer Coyer is going to be starting in 6th. James McIntyre Jr. in 7th. Andy Lambert is going to be starting that 72 in 8th position. 9th place is going to be started with Jeff Dillon and Vader in the number 10 position in that 8 car. That's Matt Vade, in case nobody knows, but it's the Vader to us. Al Smith Jr. going to be starting 11th. AJ Rogers 12th. Justin Rigsby in 13th, Brian Hacker in 14th, Dylan Blankenship 15th, Matthew Spinks, tonight's race sponsor 16th, AJ Hamill, Chris Stump, Colin Allman rounding out the field. Chris, we're under green.
We are under green. The 10 car taking the lead away on the outside. And things are shaking up pretty quick already here up towards the front, Rick. This is pretty amazing driving here going on. As top 4 drivers are nose to tail. It's not until you get to the 5th place that you start getting a little bit of double file action. That's between Michael Fravert and Zach Colbier. Coyer on the outside in his number 15. Can't quite do it and falls back to 6th spot. Behind him, it's James McIntyre Jr. McIntyre in the 81, holding solid. And here comes the 72, trying to make that outside lane work. That's Andy Lambert into the wall just a little bit. A little tight there out of the 72 machine as he came right up out of the corner into the wall. Able to keep it going, but does lose a little bit of a position here to the 52 of Jeff Dillon. 96 of Al Smith. On the inside, he is working the inside of Andy Lambert. Now Andy Lambert stuck to that outside, as is AJ Rogers right behind Lambert. And Matthew Spinks, that outside line not moving, Rick. That's not where you want to be. Speaking of, James Somge just pushed off from the inside line, and here comes the freight train to take him over.
And look at Somke stuck on the outside, Chris, losing a lot of positions right now. Currently in 9th position in that number 1 machine. And he's stuck out there just like those guys were, man. Like you said, this is not where these guys want to be. You want to try to get in that inside lane as much as you can, but nobody's giving them room as the 51 goes around the 1. Somke still falling back, now sitting in 12th position.
Yeah, you got to fight really hard to get down to that inside line. Wait for somebody to get a little tight, take advantage of it, get it underneath them. But it hasn't happened yet for Somke as he continues to go the wrong way here at Southern National. Andy Lambert has gone to that bottom line, but not before he falls all the way back to 16th spot. Somke falls in right behind him. Justin Rigsby in the 99, still back there with Vader. Vader in 19th spot. Travis Wright in the 10 car, your race leader. Jeffrey Stiles right behind him. Mark Fravert in 3rd spot in his 44. Then it's Michael Fravert and Zach Coldbeer Coyer rounding out the top 5. Look out though, because here comes the 52. That's Jeff Dillon working the inside of the 81 of McIntyre. This is for position. Jeff Dillon takes over 6th spot, holds on to it at the line.
Yeah, right now McIntyre Jr. really trying to fight on that outside lane, Chris. He's got the 11 of Brian Hacker coming up behind him. Hacker kind of in that same position, just kind of stuck there. Now Hacker's trying to get around the 17 of AJ Rogers. But right now that outside lane just kind of stalling out a little bit.
And outside lane, not where you want to be. You want to be able to be right next to that apron here so you can cut those corners. That inside line has the advantage. And it is definitely the quicker way around this track. Here comes Al Smith down on the inside, trying to get past the 81 of McIntyre now. Smith with a point to prove here in the 96. As he has a little blink. Ahead of Smith is a 52 of Jeff Dillon. Rick, I'm sorry I cut you off. Go ahead.
That's okay. I'm just wondering if Big Al has his blanket on his lap today.
One way to know for sure, and that's to sneak in an interview with him. But AJ Rogers now down to the inside, and the 81 of McIntyre starts to head back on that outside lane. That outside lane just can't get it done here. He has some blinking issues going on there. The 17 makes that pass clean, coming out of 3 and 4, and the 81 has no place to go. The 67 of Colin Allman down underneath him.
Of course, Allman had to work very hard, Chris. He had to start back in 19th position. He's starting to pick his way up through the field, currently sitting in 9th position right now as he's looking to try to do what he has to do to get around Rogers. But look at the 81. 81 started to sneak in there just a little early, wasn't able to do much with it. But at least he's out of that outside lane now.
Yeah, finally down where he wants to be. That inside lane continues to have some blinking issues. Look at the gaggle of cars in front of them, though. And that is being led by the 52 of Jeff Dillon. That's 5th spot. In the 96, Al Smith Jr. working on Coyer. And Coyer falls back. Smith gets a little loose coming out of the second corner. Onto the backstretch. Through 3 and 4, no problem, though. So Al Smith, a little bit of a pucker moment. Gathers it back up now. Starts marching himself towards the 52 of Dillon as we fall under caution. And I did not see what it was, to be honest with you. So
I'm checking here. Maybe
back.
Rigsby, maybe?
Yeah, it looks. Oh, yeah, the 99 and the 1 get together. Yeah, we'll go back a little further and see if we can't see how it all happened here. So we're watching the 99 and the 1. The 1 comes underneath the 99, gets into the left rear, and around he goes. Justin Rigsby. Unfortunately, Travis Wright was able to get around Rigsby, so Rigsby falls a lap down. He will be scored as the first driver 1 lap down, but as he was part of the caution, will not get that lucky dog back. Instead, it's going to be Vader getting it back as he started off in pit road here tonight. So Vader will get 1 lap back. Now we have 2 drivers, 1 lap back, Justin Rigsby and Vader.
You know, I'm digging Vader's car, man. I'm checking that thing out right now. Wow. It looks good. Integrity Farms, Flow Wrestling, and the Outlaw on the hood.
Still need to see some Darth Vader action on that hood, but you know, he'll get there eventually, I think.
I think so. I like that Outlaw stuff, though, man. It is cool.
Yeah, it took a little while to get to the first caution here tonight, but we certainly are there right now. Pace car leading the way with the lights on. Should be shutting off this time by, though, Rick, as pit stops are all taken care of. Remember, no tires here tonight. As the pace car flips the switch, lights go off, and we get ready to go back under the green flag here from Southern National. Pace car pulls off, and there goes the 10 of Wright with a great restart right there. And he's got to, because the 85 of Jeffrey Stiles, I think he might be just a touch faster. Oh, then he gets into the wall at the end of the backstretch. The 85 and the 10 have a breakaway. The battle now for 3rd spot between Michael and Mark Fravert. The 44 and the 36 doing battle. Meanwhile, Al Smith Jr. in the 96 has worked his way up into the top 5, and he's doing it on the outside. Oh, the 36 gets loose. The 96 goes around. Oh, man, what a shame for Al Smith. Goes around, and we're going to have to figure out what happened there. We're watching the 96 on the outside, the 44 to his inside, and then the 52 to his inside. I know Al saw the 36. Oh, the 44 just went up. Yeah, he went up. He got nervous. He went up, and looks like Hacker may have gone into the 96 a little bit. And we're back under caution again here from Southern National. Lap number 34 of 100, and this is caution number 2.
I mean, it's so hard out there, Chris. I mean, this is a small track. These guys are going around doing what they got to do. Everyone's fighting for that one piece of real estate down towards the bottom.
I want to go ahead and thank everybody for coming on out to the Turn 3 Racing Network tonight. You're watching the Racing for a Cause Super Late Model action. And, oh, We got an issue, Rick. We're not at Langley.
We're not at Langley, no.
We
were supposed to be.
Yeah, we were supposed to be.
That's next week, bud.
Yep. That's what happens when your overlay crashes.
That's all right. Mine says that we're back at the MS Society 75, but we all know that it is the Heart Foundation 100 here, presented by Matthew Spinks. Matthew, thank you very much for supporting tonight's race here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. I just love the fact, I mean, Andy, you know, you and I, we stepped away from racing for a cause. Andy and Troy Radford and Greeny took it over. They've been doing a good job, man. They're still out there supporting the causes. It's just amazing.
That's a lot of fun to come on out and watch them. Still to this day, pace car lights are off, and we are here at Southern National Motorsports Park. Don't let the top banner fool you. I already fixed it anyway. Pace car lights are off, and it's pulling down pit road. Here goes Travis Wright with a 10, wasting no time to hit that loud pedal.
And look at the 36 of Michael Fravert, Chris. He's really hanging on to that inside lane. That's exactly what he needs to do. But here comes the 85 of Jeffrey Stiles, trying to reclaim that second position again. But man, he's kind of hung out there on the outside lane along with the 44. That's Mark Fravert.
And we already know that outside lane, Rick, that is just no place you want to be. Jeffrey Stiles is hanging on out there, but the 52 comes in. Oh, the 85. I don't think he saw him there. Gets into him, gets into Coyer. The 98 of Stump gets into the 85. We're under caution.
That could have been a lot worse, though, Chris. There was a lot of cars coming.
Yes, sir. You just had a feeling something was going to happen here, and the 52 was on the bottom. The 85 thought he had a good run. I can understand that. Then he tries to come down just a little too much. The 52 gets into him. The 85 starts looking like a ping pong just a little bit.
That's going to be a hard situation to be in, Chris, because you know you want to go because you got a bunch of guys coming up behind you, but you're also on the brakes to try to settle that car down a little bit.
52 that was on the inside, Jeff Dillon. We're going to watch his ride through this mess. There's the tap to the 85, and the 52 goes around, and that's it. Really no damage on the 52, except for a little bit of heartache there, Rick.
A little bit of pride, maybe broken.
Yep. Well, here we are under caution one more time. Lap number 43 of 100. Pace car is out on track, and it's led a good deal of laps, but you know who else has? Travis Wright. He's led every single lap here so far. Click it off at 43 as we begin lap 44 under caution here. Racing for a cause on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Again, I want to thank everybody for coming on out here tonight on a Wednesday. The week's halfway over, and if you're not in quarantine or self-quarantine yet, we want to thank you for coming on out, even if you are under that quarantine. Hey, listen, we got a lot of videos on our YouTube channel. If you haven't been caught up with all of our different nights of racing and all of the leagues that are here on Turn 3 Racing Network, now is the time. Get yourself caught up.
You know, that was one of the cool things that I wanted to do today when I put YouTube on our smart TV. That might have to be tomorrow. I'll have to have a Turn 3 racing day. Who do I start with? With KR or Moose in the booth?
Oh, boy. It's a tough call.
David, Danny, or that cool duo, Rick and Chris. I hear they're pretty good.
Yeah, I hear they do once in a while. Back under the green.
Yeah, the 10 got a really good restart there, Chris. But here comes the 67. I knew it wasn't going to take him long to get up towards the front, Chris.
Well, I'll tell you.
Allman out there.
Colin Allman's out there, and it didn't take him long, but I'm looking at another fella. He happens to be the points leader right now. AJ Rogers sitting in fourth spot right now, and he is pouring it on here in that number 17. And Colin Allman going for the lead.
What a great move right there by Allman, Chris.
Excellent move. And we are under caution again. And it may have been Al Smith one more time. Let's go back and take a peek. Al Smith Jr. to the outside of the 51 of Dylan Blankenship. Oh, the 81 into the left rear of the 96. I don't know how he kept it off the inside wall, but Al Smith Jr. not having a great night here tonight, Rick, and it's not been his doing whatsoever. Justin Rigsby going around the field to gather his lap up. That'll put all 19 drivers back on the lead lap. Colin Allman going to be your race leader. Well, Rick started in 19th position all the way to the tail end of the field.
And picked his way through. Made smart moves, stayed out of the cautions. Now he's just leading this thing.
Yeah, it was 38 laps later, 48 laps later, he took the lead. And now Allman is up front. Travis Wright was doing a great job up front, but now he's got to restart in a position he hasn't yet tonight, Rick. It's going to be on the outside of the front row. Wright been looking really strong here tonight.
He's got that Ford Mustang all dialed in here to come in here tonight, so we'll see what happens. Like you said, it's going to be kind of tough, Chris, because he's going to start on that outside lane, and we all know that's not where you want to be. He's got AJ Rogers right behind him.
Nope.
No?
Yeah.
I was going to say.
Yeah.
I mean, AJ Rogers is there. Brian Hacker. Got some strong guys coming up through the field right now.
Pace car is off. Colin Allman wasting no time. He's on that loud pedal now. The 67 gone. Like a shot out of a cannon, and here comes the 36 of Michael Fravert. Fravert trying to take advantage of that inside line while he can, and we are under caution. No, we're not. I don't know what we are right now. We're racing. We're gonna go for it.
My screen shows caution too, but I'm gonna hit the green flag button to make that go away.
I don't know what's going on. Looks like we're racing. We're gonna go with it. Green flag it is.
And man, it's good to see Michael Fravert doing such a good job out there, holding on to second place. He got the 17 AJ Rogers right behind him on the outside. Now back on the inside. Travis Wright finally able to sneak in where he wants to in front of Hacker.
Man, look at the lead that Allman has already over Michael Fravert. Oh my Lord.
1.2.
Behind Fravert, it's AJ Rogers in the 17. The 17 is going to be looking to try and get around the 36 and try and give chase to Colin Allman. But right now, the 17 looks like he might be a little tight as he kind of was up about a half a lane there through 1 and 2.
Some big racing happening back here in 12th place. Andy Lambert stuck on the outside lane again. He's got the 52 right now of Jeff Dillon on his inside.
Oh, we got one going around, Rick. It's the 98. That's Chris Stump. We stay under the green, though.
He decided to call for a tow.
Yeah. That's going to hurt on this track. Chris Stump going to go down a couple, maybe 3-4 laps here. And we're past halfway on this track, lap number 63, so that's going to hurt.
But I think he made a really good move there, Chris, because Colin Allman already went around him and the rest of the field was coming. He was just like, you know what? I'm just going to hit the tow button.
Oh, we got another one going around. It's the 51.
51.
That's Rigsby. Oh, down on the pit road, so... Again, we're going to stay in the green. I don't know what's going on here tonight, guys, but man, oh man, they are racing against the last lap of this race consistently right now.
And just to make a correction, Chris, that was Dylan Blankenship in the 51.
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah, Dylan Blankenship.
And I believe Jeffrey Stiles also, he's in pit road right now in his stall.
It's a shame for Styles, who started up towards the front of the field here tonight. Now on pit road.
You know, that's one of the downsides of these guys not having an extra set of tires at all. But, you know, I think it puts on some good racing when they just, you know, tell the guys, hey, listen, you got one set, take care of them. If you don't, that's what's going to happen.
Matthew Spinks running in 8th position in his number 35. And just ahead of him is Travis Wright. Travis Wright has led the first 47 laps here, Rick, before Colin Allman was able to get around him, and then he was stuck to the outside. It took him a little bit to get back in line.
He's got some tough guys to try to pass, Chris. The 18 right there in front of him, that's AJ Hamel. You got the 15 and Zach Coldbeard-Coyer. Those two guys running a little bit different line. AJ just kind of riding up just a little bit more. I love those. You can see the rotors glowing. I love nighttime racing.
I do too. Nighttime racing on a short track. Brian Hacker leading this pack. Brian sitting in 4th spot. Coldbeard-Coyer sitting in 5th. And way up front, Rick, it's Colin Allman.
Way up front. Yeah, Hacker doing a good job though, Chris. He started here tonight in 14th position. Worked his way up through the field. Currently, like you said, sitting 4th. But man, I don't know. It's such a huge gap.
Yeah, it's almost 4 seconds now. Back to Michael Fravert. AJ Rogers still sitting in 3rd spot. Can't find a way around the 36. Blankenship back out on track after his little cruise down pit road. See the damage to the right rear and the right front.
Yeah, he just tapped the wall there just a little bit ago, and I'm sure that probably gave Michael Fravert and AJ Rogers just a little heart palpitation.
Well, Rick, here we are on lap number 76. We're under green flag, have been for a little while. What do you say we drop down into the cockpit of your race leader, Colin Allman? Coming on to the front stretch across the start-finish line. Power it up and get off and get on the brakes. Feather it back in, up towards the wall on the back stretch. Off the throttle onto the brakes. Feather it back in. You got the 99 to your outside. Got to be a little careful there. James Sonke just ahead now as Colin Allman working his way through traffic. He's got a really nice looking line there. Got a little bit low onto the apron. You saw the steering wheel going left and right pretty hard. That is some bumps that are in the road. And that's, well, I don't know, what, 2-3 laps here with your race leader as we cross the start finish line one more time.
They definitely tick off pretty quick here, Chris, that's for sure.
About 14 seconds a click. Plenty of laps to go for Colin Allman, who is race leader. He's got a 4.2 second lead over AJ Rogers, who was able to get around Michael Fravert. And Rogers starting to pull away just a little bit. Does he have enough in the tank to try and catch Allman? Gonna have to keep an eye on that for a little bit. Last time by, Rogers about 0.2 of a second slower. Last time by, 0.1 of a second slower. So he is gaining. Not on track yet, but on speed.
On speed, yeah. And look at that right now. Colin Allman, his best lap, Chris, 13.723. His last lap of 14.143.
Yeah, 0.4 of a second difference. AJ Hamel sitting in 4th spot, was able to get around Hacker. Hacker in the top 5. Ooh, Coldbeard-Coyer may have had one too many as he just popped himself off the wall. Able to gather it back up though. Travis Brown to the outside of Matthew Spinks in the 35. Spinks going to be trying to get around him. He does. sticking on that back bumper. Oh, Brian Hacker goes around late in this one. Caution is out. And that was Brian Hacker in the 11. We're going to go back and find out what happened there. Brian Hacker across the start finish line, heading into turns 1 and 2. It's going to happen right around here. I don't know if there's contact there, if he just got loose, but the 52 was right behind him. I'm not sure if Dylan made contact. Again, it was too close to call. But here we are under caution late in this one with just 12 laps to go. Colin Allman, very disappointed to see that caution flag come out, Rick.
Yeah, I mean, kind of unfortunate. Yeah, there might have been a little tap there. I was looking at a different angle, Chris, but not much of one. But it doesn't take much to upset these cars, especially in a corner.
Yeah, especially when you have almost 90 laps on the tires. Well, under caution, I want to go ahead and thank everybody once again for tuning in to the Turn 3 Racing Network. You're watching the Racing for a Cause Super Late Model Series Spring Championship.
I love that word, spring.
Boing.
Spring. I like the spring. I like the summer. I like the fall.
But you like winter most of all?
No.
Sorry, I just had to finish that up. It was there waiting for me.
I didn't even want to give it a mention, to be honest with you.
You know you like winter. You like to run your snowblower.
Okay, that's about the only thing. I like winter as long as there's snow on the ground and falling in my driveway.
All right, we're lined up here going down the backstretch. Pace car lights are off. It's Colin Allman, AJ Rogers, Michael Fravert, and AJ Hamill, your top 2 rows. Then it's Zach Coyer, Matthew Spinks making up row number 3. Green flag is out. Colin Allman shoots himself into turns 1 and 2. AJ Rogers trying to hold on the outside. Tough to do as Michael Fravert giving pressure on the inside. 2x2 racing all the way back except for Colin Allman, and now AJ Rogers able to break free of the pack. Rogers on the outside was able to get around. Battle for third spot between AJ Hamill and Michael Fravert. Fravert putting on a show for third spot. As this time by, the flagman throws out a handful of fingers indicating 5 laps to go here from Southern National.
Man, these guys racing for third and back, they're all right there.
A big cluster of cars, and these guys are trying to figure it out. And they don't have a lot of time to do it, Rick, as when they cross the start-finish line one more time, it's going to be 3 laps to go.
AJ Hamill finally getting around the number 36 of Michael Fravert, takes over third position. Oh, Matthew Spinks, oh, he's okay.
Two to go. White flag is in the flagman's hands, ready to unfurl it here. As he crossed the start-finish line, that white flag is out. And Colin Allman looking to sail himself into victory lane. So far led 52 laps, plus 1's going to make it 53 for the 67 here tonight. Colin Allman, your race winner. AJ Rogers and AJ Hamill second and third. Boy, it goes by quick, Rick. It really does.
Most certainly does.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be right back right after this. We're going to step away and get ready for those post-race interviews. We'll be talking to the top 3 here in just a moment.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real-world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original eSport racing game. This is iRacing.
Back live here with the top 3 finishers, and in third spot, it's going to be the number 18 of AJ Hamill. We're going to dial in his channel. AJ, this is Chris and Rick up in the booth. You got a copy?
Who?
Ooh, what?
Who? I haven't talked to you guys in so long.
I know. The question is, where have you been? We've been here. I just want to point that
wrecked, out. A rage quit. Been watching some TV.
What, tonight?
Tonight? Well, I thought we'd come try it out, and it was all right. I might come back next week.
Oh, third place finish and nothing to sneeze about, and other than a little bit of right front damage, it looks like the car is intact, ready to go. Maybe a little sheet metal damage there, AJ, but nothing big.
Yeah, no, we got to reinforce it before Thompson.
Oh, absolutely. Well, you do come in tonight. You take home third spot. Anybody on the 18 that you need to thank?
Sure. I got to thank a lot of people for not getting mad at me. I feel bad moving Chris out of the. I didn't move Chris out of the way. I couldn't see through the cars in front of me that jammed up, and unfortunately knocked him out of the race. You guys you might not have witnessed it, but my first ever bump and run, like career of 17 years, when you probably weren't watching at that point, but just nudge Zach a little bit. And he didn't mind because he's Zach. He loves that stuff. So that was a good night. Now I'm just rambling. Honestly, guys, I don't know what to do with my hands at this point. Well, this has been 6 months since we've done this. So
you just put them down by your side. It's going to be all right.
Thank you, Denny Hamlin. Thank you, Denny Hamlin, for teaching me how to move people. And
I've been practicing for 17 years trying to find my spot.
Well, on the front of your car is a bunch of rubber, Toyota Supra. So thank you, Toyota, for the crappy car that only got me to third. If I was running a Chevy, I probably would have made it to second. Center for Whale Research, of course.
Yeah, those guys. Hey, maybe we got some new viewers.
Well, you know what?
Remember?
My daughter, since we've been quarantined and home, we've been doing a lot of whale stuff. So whalesearch.com, we've been on there, the Orca survey. They're all into that because we've been watching Free Willy.
Awesome.
And so it's been good fun. Of course, thank you, Turn 3 Racing Network, Andy, for all you do at Racing for a Cause, emptythetanks.org.
Yeah, screw that Andy guy.
Yeah. And of course, the last and most important one, thank you, USA. I'm sorry, Arts Barbershop on the back.
Yep, that guy too. He's got to watch this one. We haven't watched racing so long. Thank you, Rick, for doing my interview for me.
Well, I'm not. You got SLC and of course JDRF. You can't forget that.
Absolutely.
Well,
there you go,
man.
Colin
and other AJ.
There you go. Absolutely perfect, AJ. It was a real pleasure to talk to you.
Thanks, guys.
Let's do it again next week. All right, sounds good, buddy. Congrats.
See you guys.
All right, that's AJ Hamill. And a good third place finish for him. And then we got second place finisher, and that's going to be AJ Rogers. Rick, I believe you caught up with him.
I did. Mr. Fueled by Verge, Dixie Products. You got the driver in the number 17 up here, folks. AJ Rogers. You got Rick and Chris up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, buddy. How y'all doing?
Oh, man, we're doing great. You got that Ford up into second position. Started 12th here tonight, so you had some work to do, man. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a ton of fun as usual. I enjoy racing with everybody here. It's definitely a big family. We enjoy, we were chatting, running together, and it's just a lot of fun. Can't complain about anything other than not winning, but that's because Almond's in front of me.
I mean, you gave it a heck of a try, man. Let me tell you, congratulations on second. Anybody on that 17 you'd like to thank?
Just my sponsors, Dixie Products, my teammates, Will and Dylan. They all know who they are. Verge, which crossed the banner, RBRC, which is Russell Brown Race Cars, and Midwest Power Source. They've been on board a long time, and plan on keeping them there.
That's awesome, man. Hey, listen, congratulations. Hopefully you can do it again and do one better next week.
Yeah, that's what I'm going after. I'm going after that championship, so we'll see what happens.
All right, buddy. Hey, you got a heck of a thing going on. So we wish you luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you, buddy. Y'all have a
Yeah,
good
well,
one. Thank
you
y'all.
too. Stay safe.
That was the driver of the number 17 points leader, AJ Rogers, taking home a second place finish tonight. And that leaves us with one other driver to talk to, Rick. And man, did he have a night tonight. Started from the back end of the field, worked his way all the way up to the front on lap number 48. Led the last 53 laps. It's Colin Allman. Colin, Chris, and Rick up in the booth. Do you have a copy?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Well, bud, I kind of stole a little bit of your thunder there. I kind of went through your night, but why don't you take us through how it was for you coming through the field?
That was a lot of fun. I enjoy starting the back and working my way through it. It's a little bit. It's more fun than starting on the pole and leading every lap. I don't find fun in starting on the pole ever. But yeah, we started in the back tonight because I didn't get to race last week. Had a little bit of luck coming through there, dodged a couple wrecks, didn't get any incident points tonight, didn't get no damage, and came out on top.
Yeah, that's the way to do it, man. And that car is clean. And it was fast tonight, Colin. How was the track feeling out there?
Oh, this is the best this track has felt in a long time, actually. I've other races I've ran have been 90-degree tracks or something like that, and tonight was a 70, so it had a lot more grip than what we've been used to recently, and it was a lot of fun.
Well, it was a lot of fun to watch. But anybody on the 67 car that you need to thank tonight?
Just the guys at Front Stretch Mafia. We haven't been racing with each other a lot, my team and I, but we've been getting back on it and looking forward to some more racing.
That's perfect, bud. Well, congratulations once again coming on in and taking the win away. And hope to see you again next week.
All right, thank you, guys.
All right, driver of the number 67, Colin Allman, winning tonight's race. And what a display of power there, coming up through the field to do it, Rick.
Well, I mean, you said power, Chris. I mean, I don't know if you noticed, but there's a bow tie on that car. So yeah, the Ford came in second. It gave a good run. The Toyota, they're always third unless they pay off NASCAR, but it's all good.
Wow, it's going to be like that. As we're coming to a close, let's take a look at the race results. Colin Allman, AJ Rogers, AJ Hamill, your top three. Michael Fravert holding on for a fourth place finish. Great run for him tonight. In fifth place tonight, the 35 of Matthew Spinks. Good to see him out on track. Al Smith Jr., after ping-ponging all over the track here tonight, ends up with a sixth spot. In seventh, it's going to be Zach Cold Beer Coyer bringing it home in seventh, and Travis Wright in eighth position. And gosh darn it, it just crashed again on me, Rick.
All right. Well, Andy Lambert finished in ninth place in the 72 machine. James McIntyre Jr., after a couple of issues out there, finished in 10th position. Mark Fravert, who battled out towards the front there for most of the race, fell back and finished in 11th. Brian Hacker tonight, we saw what happened to him, Chris. That 11 machine, he finished in 12th. Matt Vade in the 8th and 13th. James Somke finished the 1 and 14th. Jeff Dillon in 15th. Justin Rigsby in 16th. Dylan Blankenship 17th. Jeffrey Stiles in 18th. And Chris Stump in 19th position tonight.
A good run for everybody. I want to thank everybody for coming out, reminding you right now to take care of yourself during this time. Stay healthy, take care of yourself, and take care of each other. Have a good night, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Good night, all.